Well, video 10 is here. In this 3D learning project focused on farming, this is video 10. After this, students will have time to practice in class. They will just keep practicing until the debate date is finished. Who should control the program to analyze the problems is the topic. Getting ready, we need to have a checklist. The statement has already been decided, maybe at week 8 or 9, and agreed to. Set the teams. If you have a larger group, you set the teams. If you have a small group, you can still set teams, or maybe you have another teacher and you can compete with each other. Choose the position each side will defend. So you already prepared for both sides, so choosing one is not so difficult. As a team, choose which point each person or team will present. We've tried to get that done already over many videos. And so that should be already checked. It's just a checklist. Each person will listen for the opposite point and create a new response to what the other person has presented. And that's where you want to continue practicing, because we've done that before. Most debates allow for one presentation from each team member initially. Remember, there's an opening statement. In the opening statement, one chosen member of the team will present the introduction, just like we had talked about many videos ago. You want to have the sequence of your arguments outlined so that what you say will be followed by the team. What you defend, the points you make, will be expanded by the team. Introduction is just, this is what we're going to talk about. And it'll be followed by one presentation. The first person in your team, followed by a rebuttal, which is the first person in the opposite team. And which specific points can be addressed with the rebuttal by the person who has the information at hand. So we start with Team A, Person 1, Point 1. After the introduction, the opening statement, they will speak for 3 minutes. They will speak their argument and the supporting ideas for 3 minutes. We did this before, so this is not new. And then the opposing team will respond to the point. They will say, this person said this, or we disagree with this point, and because of this, and blah, blah, blah. And you give a new point. So you have 1 minute to say we disagree and give some support. 3 minutes to respond and give a new point. So Team A will give their initial 3 minutes. Team B will have a minute to respond to that 3 minutes, to that point, and give their own reason why. So it's like for and against, or against and for. Usually we start with for. The team who does the for starts. Team B, the second person, B, rebuts the point, opposes the point, disagrees with the point, and says, we disagree with that point, not the first one, but the first person of the second team, we disagree with that, and this is the supporting document. So you want to use your point, but you have to listen carefully. What point are they making? And that's why we have that facts sheet, the facts that you did before, for and against. Bring that fact sheet so that if the opposing team brings a point that is not your point, is not related to your point, you have some response to them. And then you can present your point. But you have to respond for 1 minute. And so that's why you have the fact sheet to help you out. Opposing team, back and forth, A and B, and till everybody's done. After all the persons have spoken, each can respond to any point given by the opposite team. So if there are any other disagreements, any challenges from your team or the other team, then you might have one or two challenges, and somebody in the team should address that and should respond. So listen carefully, take notes. Always take notes. You can take notes if you are not speaking. If you're speaking, you can't take notes. Always listen and connect your thinking and what you're hearing to the notes that you have in your facts. Following that rebuttal, the public may be invited to ask a question or two from each team. So they will be given a question. The team gets together who is going to respond. And then they will give a response to the public. That's very important because you need to be able to find the material and respond with 3 minutes or as long as you need. Bring your ideas together. That's why everything has to be together as a team. Every argument has to be there connected to your teammate, so that the public person wants to ask a question, you get a good response, and you can choose anybody because you already know who has the best response for that question. And then you have, after the debate of the teams, you have the closing remarks, and then you have the challenges as outlined. This should already be done. These should be done early. They should have been already filled out. The team names, when you put this, the judges may be decided late, just before the debate. But the team names, you can already have your name. That can be done early. Statement to defend, maybe week 8 or 9. And the judges when they are decided. This is only part of a curriculum. It's only part of your learning. Challenging the status quo is important for students to discover and explore new ideas. Moving out of a personal comfort zone heightens the motivation to take risks. Creating this challenge through debate builds a better foundation for any future job or discussion. It is not helpful to poke eyes out only, but it is useful to understand why the blindness and have a solution to stop the problem. Going beyond is the expansion into essay writing. Good essays are able to build and defend an argument. Building a structure for debate will springboard off this skill set. Poking eyes out. Everybody can poke eyes. Yeah, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. We do that all the time. But instead of poking eyes out, have a solution. Have some support for your disagreement. Learn to do that. Learn to understand why the other person is blind to your ideas. Why they don't want to change. Don't just poke eyes out, but rather help the blind person see. I'm Professor Paul R. Friesen, Assistant Professor at Korea Nazarene University 2021. I know you'll do well in your debate, and you will win. Everybody wins in a debate. Even if you are decided that you are not the strongest one, you have increased in motivation, you've increased in confidence in presenting your ideas. So many things you've increased in. That's what you want to focus on. This week you practiced your arguments, you've begun to practice for the debate. All that's left is a little bit more practice. Review the vocabulary from the original story So if the opposition uses it, you know what it's all about. Do you feel ready? You're never ready till it's over. You're always thinking, how can I do better? What did I miss? When it's over, you stop thinking like that. Have confidence that you are going to win. Practice as much as possible. Outside of class, inside of class, you will do it. You have a great teacher.